know about your family's heritage? It's always been fascinating to me to learn about my parents and my grandparents and even my great-grandparents, even though I never met them. I remember as a child at bedtime, this was a common procrastination tactic for me. I would ask my parents to tell me stories of what it was like for them when they were my age, or stories about my family. Recently, my mom has been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I've learned even more about my family and our heritage, of where we came from, and these stories and this history can inform where we go. DNA tests can provide connections to those who are a part of our history, providing answers to questions we had never even thought about, or even health advice and guidance that help us prepare for our personal futures. Similarly, stories can encourage us on our journey. Before I was out of elementary school, I knew that my grand and great-grandfathers had been pastors. And though none of them were women, I felt a connection to the pastors who had gone before me, and that empowered me to pursue my call in ministry. As stories can help us on our personal journeys, they can also help us discern where we are going with our church family. In baptism, we are initiated into Christ's holy church. When someone is baptized, you might notice that only our first and middle names are mentioned, not the last name. Theologically, we do this because it is like taking on the name of Christ, or Christian, as our new last name. It is a sign that we officially become part of God's family. As we are initiated into Christ's family, we become connected to all of the members, ancestors, saints, and leaders in the church. We often refer to them as the great cloud of witnesses. Our cloud of witnesses is much larger than a single DNA test. It's not just about our biological family, but it is about our church family. Since I arrived at Conway FUMC, I have learned about ministries we have been part of, and those who have gone before me, and that they have made by the grace of God. Conway FUMC has always had a passion to make sure people do not go hungry. Did you know that in the 1930s, women hosted a canning kitchen and daycare for mothers who worked outside the home? I've heard stories of the food pantry, which began with just a single box of food and a spare closet, and is now feeding on average over 60 families every single week. I've learned that Conway FUMC started the first recycling program in the parking lot here at the church, and that led to the city's recycling program. These are only a few of the stories I have heard, and I'm sure you have heard even more. Those who have gone before us have done incredible things with this building and in this community. As we recognize those who have gone before us, there is connection to the cloud of witnesses who have gone before us. Those who have paved the way, dreamed dreams, sacrificed out of their love for God, so that their time and money went for the sake of God's kingdom, which is able to continue because we have a space to worship, a space to fellowship, learn, and support the community of Conway. Some of these witnesses are people that we know, and others were here long before our time. But without each and every one of them, we would not have the space where we gather now. I'm grateful for those who have fixed their eyes on Jesus, who saw the vision of what could happen, that we today could see the goodness of God at work in this place. These stories are inspiring. I can't help but think of Olympic gold medal winner and gymnast Simone Biles. Her perseverance, her dedication, and joy has inspired others. Earlier this semester, the UCA Wesley hosted the international students here in our fellowship hall. And during the dinner, I happened to meet with one student from France. And she said after the recent victory in their swimming competitions, everyone wanted to start swimming. I remember a similar craze as Michael Phelps kept winning, in my early years watching the Olympics. When we hear stories like this, we often catch this vision, catch the passion of the people who have gone before us, and we want to take it on. We want to be part of creating the goodness that we have witnessed and have fun. As Hebrews enters the conclusion of the letter, the author encourages the audience to persist, to let go of baggage, and to fix our eyes on Jesus, just as they have seen in the witnesses that have gone before them. As we take the torch in the relay, we too continue to fix our eyes on Jesus and take the next step into building God's kingdom here on earth, here in Conway. As we dream about what God can do, let us fix our eyes on Jesus and unleash our potential as disciples.